find out exactly where you are so that you know where you stand. Okay? Bravo. You deserve every accolade there is. The next step for you, now that you've been there, is to help create the world. What is it that we want the world to look like? Okay? It's us. We have to do this. No one else is going to do this for us. Has to be a grassroots level. All it takes is conversation, discussion. You know, if you put out the intention, I need to know about this information, and you put it out and you keep putting it out, even if it's just for 10 seconds a day, you will draw that information, that knowledge to you. The right people will come to you. The opportunities will come to you. You have to trust that. I'm learning to trust that. Because I'm a guy, I still overanalyze everything. Okay? But my wife is kicking my ass in that direction and making sure I get that. And I love you for it. Okay? This is all about us. We have drawn this entire experience to ourselves, so we need to own it. And the faster we own it, the more empowered we will become about the process. The more it'll make sense to us, the more intelligent we can discuss it. And as this process begins, people around you you'll find yourself in a position of leadership. Okay? You will find yourself being the teachers. There was a great line in Sterling Allen's presentation, quote, where he said, if you're one step ahead of the world, you're a genius. If you're 2 steps ahead, you're a crackpot. Okay? It was a great line. So I borrowed it. We've all been crackpots. Okay? Soon we're going to be geniuses. But that's when the real work begins. Okay, and the idea is to try to get everybody else up to speed. Do what you can. Just do what you can. Don't overextend yourself to the point where you can't keep yourself centered and balanced. You have to keep yourself centered and balanced. Okay? It's not necessary for you to save the world or to want to save the world. If you become the example, it will reflect and other people will get it around you. And the tide is definitely changing. The frequency is changing. Again, I want to put this out there one more time. If you had 2 years left to live on earth, what would you do with your life? What would you do? Just think about that. What would you do? What would you do differently? If you wouldn't do anything, bravo. You're there. But if you would do something differently, what would you do? What would make you happy? Okay? My wife has a great expression. We're all sitting on the G waiting for the O. Okay? Okay? My wife, Audra, has a great saying, and it's we're all sitting on the G waiting for the O. Ladies and gentlemen, you are my brothers and my sisters. I love you. I am honored by you. I want you to know that I have done the very best I could to represent us. I've had my stuff to deal with as well. I have my own challenges to deal with as well. Okay? But ultimately, in the end, I have absolute faith in us. The world is not going to end, but it is going to change, and it has to. And it's going to change for the better, but we need to be the driving force of that change. Humanity has to be the driving force of that change, not government. Okay? Do not ever, ever surrender your freedoms or liberties to government. It's too self-serving, and it doesn't create anything but laws that restrict our freedoms. You know, you can't possibly need any more examples of that. Okay? We have what, 10 minutes? 8 minutes? 5 minutes? Does somebody do we want to do some questions? Is that a yes? Okay. Okay.
True to our spirit. I'm curious about what's going on, and what do they say about what's going on with the Middle East?
I'm sorry, what?
The Middle East.
Same thing that's always gone on in the Middle East. They're watching it. It's all a play. It's all a drama. Okay? It's all about control. It's all about creating war. It's all about distracting us and creating a space of fear. That's what it's about. Because if we're all in a space of fear, we are not creating in a space of love. And when we're in fear, we basically imprison ourselves. We put ourselves in a box. When we're not in fear, we are free to create. In fear, they're in control. In love, we're in control. That's all it is. It's the same drama that's been playing itself out for 4,000 years. It's the same thing. Yes, ma'am.
I am so ready for some contact. What is there a good way to prepare for that, or is there certain signs to look for, or
that's a great question.
Clues?
That's a great question.
It seems silly.
I can't honestly tell you one way that's better than another. What I would do if I were you is I would create your own ritual. Create your own ritual. Make it holy. Make it sacred to you. Create your own process of what feels safe and comfortable for you and where it is. Okay? And just allow it to be. And then tell the universe, tell the Creator, you're ready. This is what you want. But create the space. Go through your ritual. Again, set up your own protocols for how you would want that to work in order for you to feel safe. Because when it happens, it's a shock. It is a shock. It's an amazing shock, but it's a shock. Because your first reaction is going to be, oh shit, it's real. Okay? And then, you'll move through that. They know that. They already know that. Okay? And then just go with the flow. That would be my suggestion. Everybody would do something differently. That would be my suggestion for you. Create your own protocols. Okay? And make them sacred. Ma'am with the blue and the white sweater.
If you've felt like you've had quite a bit of different type of visitation over your lifetime, I've never really looked into it or reported it anywhere, and particularly like with one child in a bassinet when I woke up and they came in through the windows and I couldn't move, and wondering where or who would be the best place to go to find out what's going on with this, and are we supposed to use it somehow? I'm just looking for the resources to follow through.
Gosh, I don't know anyone specifically that I would feel comfortable recommending you to. It sounds like you know it's there, but you don't have total recall of it, but you know it's there. So it sounds like you need somebody to help move you, somebody that you would feel safer that would move you through a regression. put you into a safe space in a process of unlocking those experiences. Can I ask you, do you have Native American in your background?
No, I've always felt closely attuned to them. I'm native Alaskan, but I'm Irish and Italian in my lineage.
Okay.
But it's not so much that I don't remember, I do. It's wondering how to expand the knowledge of whatever is going on that we're maybe supposed to get. That's all.
I don't have an answer.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry. Ted, just pick.
Thank you so much. I really think that it's time to act now, to get together into small groups, informally or formally, and go down those 5 points that you made and, just codify what we want, visualize it. It's called a mock-up. I don't have a question.
Okay.
I just wanted to say something, and...
you go for it, girl.
Okay. So this is another step in taking our power, is to gather in groups and to agree on a positive mock-up of what we want the world to be, what it will look like, be very specific about it, and the information will happen telepathically with the visitors, and we might even come upon some ideas ourselves without worrying about visitations. Thank you.
You're welcome. She brings up a good point about reclaiming your power. Ladies and gentlemen, you exist because you wanted to. Your physicality exists because you wanted it to. The planet exists because you wanted it to. The race exists because you wanted it to. Your reality exists because you wanted it to. The government exists because you created it. Liberty exists, freedom exists because you created it. You have the power all along. You can't really even give it away because you are it. You are it. You can not use it. You can exercise your free will and not use it, but you always have it. Always. No one can ever take that away from you. Namaste. Thank you very much.